Harry, was our democracy attacked this past election?
Yes.
By who?
The Russian government.
And it sounds like, based on your experience, this attack that occurred could have easily been carried out not just by Russia, but by other foreign adversaries. Is that right?
Yes. There are certain nation-state actors, several, that have those kinds of capabilities.
And it also could have been carried out by non-nation-state actors like terrorist groups. Is that right?
The level of sophistication that we saw last year, I'm not sure the terrorist organizations that I'm familiar with would have that level of sophistication and capability, but it's an emerging threat.
And certainly by cyber criminals?
Yes.
I talked to Debbie Wasserman Schultz today as well, because after I heard from Jay Johnson, I wanted to hear from her whether or not there was ever an effort to ask for the server so that the FBI could investigate. She says, no one ever even asked for the server, and there was no help provided. Putting that aside...
Well, that's not insignificant. Wait, that's not insignificant, though. Here you have a major political party who's getting hacked, and so with the integrity of our election, we've got a former cabinet secretary, DHS, saying that they were notified, and that's no one's doing. There's a lot of who's on first when we've got Putin trying to do something with our election system, so it's not insignificant.
One thing we do know is that hindsight is 20/20, and when we look back, oftentimes we say, I would have done things slightly differently. So back on August 15th, 2016, this is a year later from the DNC hack. You had a call with state officials about cybersecurity and elections infrastructure, in which you said you were, quote, not aware of any specific or credible cybersecurity threats relating to the upcoming general election systems, unquote, and then offered support by DHS. Why didn't you at that time say to the state elections officials, Russia is intent on hacking into our systems?
And our awareness was progressing, and I was not in a position to reveal or know exactly what we saw the Russian government doing at that point.
You didn't see shit, you lying son of a bitch.
An emerging picture. And but within a very short period of time, and it could have been just before, but within a very short period of time, right around that time, we began to see these intrusions, scanning and probing into voter registration databases. And if you look at my public statements, you'll see that I informed state election officials of what we saw at the time.
It used to prove. So this comes from the FBI's own report. It says that the FBI didn't have the Clintons' personal Apple server used for Hillary Clinton work emails. That was never located, so the FBI could never examine it. An Apple MacBook laptop and thumb drive that contained Hillary Clinton's email archives was lost, so the FBI never examined that. 2 BlackBerry devices, provided the FBI didn't have SIM cards or SD data cards. 13 Hillary Clinton personal mobile devices were lost, discarded, or destroyed with a hammer, so the FBI clearly didn't examine those. Various server backups were deleted over time, so the FBI didn't examine that. After the State Department and my colleague Mr. Gowdy here notified Ms. Clinton that her records would be sought by the Benghazi Committee, copies of her emails on the laptops of both of her lawyers, Cheryl Mills and Harold Mills, and Heather Samuelson, were wiped clean with bleach bit, so the FBI didn't review that. After those emails were subpoenaed, Hillary Clinton's email archive was also permanently deleted from the Platte River Network with bleach bit, so the FBI didn't review that. And also after the subpoena, backups of the Platte River server were manually deleted. Now, Director, hopefully that list is substantially accurate because it comes from your own documents. My question to you is this. Any one of those in that very, very long list, to me, says obstruction of justice. Collectively, they scream obstruction of justice. And to ignore them, I think, really allows not just reasonable prosecutors, but reasonable people to believe that maybe the decision on this was made a long time ago not to prosecute.
An update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails, 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
And what difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret, 36 of those chains secret confidential information.
And what difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was admitted. There was no law, no regulations.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of classified system, not even Gmail.
But first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence of a tremendous amount.
Nothing was classified.
Now, let me tell you what we found. 110
It was
emails,
not the best choice.
52 email
It
chains
was a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
And what difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains were top
It was the
secret.
best choice.
6 of those chains
Said
secret.
it was a mistake.
8 contained confidential information.
And what difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110
It
emails,
wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains
I made a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
And what difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains were top
It's not a
secret.
good choice.
6 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
8 contained confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?